After we do the ICF walls, the next step is to get the plumbing that's going to go underneath the concrete floor all installed. That's called the rough-in plumbing. So we use 4-inch main drain pipes for our sewage lines and any other drain lines that are going to go underneath the concrete, and then everything tees off of those 4-inch pipes for toilets and for sinks and for drains for showers and whatever it is that goes into making your plumbing complete. All of that goes underneath the concrete slab, called, again, rough-in plumbing. We do all of that. It's going to go outside of the walls, and we'll provide a clean out there that then whoever's doing your septic tank or hooking up to your sewer, they will hook up to that clean out and finish out that project. After we do the rough-in plumbing, we recompact the gravel. The gravel is going to be at least 12 inches deep to cover our footings. So we've compacted the gravel. Now we're going to put down 2 inches of rigid foam insulation. Really, really important. If you don't do that, if you say, yeah, I got 12 inches of gravel, then I'm going to have 4 inches of concrete, I don't need the insulation, you will be wrong. You will produce what's called a heat sink. Your concrete slab will be a heat sink. Anything that the earth is, or anything that you're trying to do in your house, the earth will do just the opposite. It takes the heat out of your house and replaces it with cold, damp air. It takes the cold out of your house and makes it hot. So we want to provide what's called a thermal break. The 2 inches of rigid foam insulation, engineered to go underneath the concrete so it's not going to squish or squash, that goes on top of the gravel. Now, this is really important. After we do the 2 inches of rigid insulation, then we put down this 6-inch mesh reinforcement for the concrete slab. We're really particular. We make sure that it's exactly parallel with the wall and exactly perpendicular to this wall. And the reason is we're going to use it as a measuring stick for other parts of the build. The grid is exactly 6 inches. So we put it down again. We're really particular about the way that we put it down. And then we're going to paint on the foam. We're going to paint all of your walls. More importantly, we're going to paint all your doors. Because we're going to use that 6-inch reinforced mesh as a grid for installing your radiant floor heat tubes. The radiant floor heat tubes are what's called air barrier PEX. It's engineered to go in concrete. So it's not just a regular plumbing pipe. I kind of joke that it's a PEX on a little bit of steroids. It's got another layer of PEX material in it that makes it a little bit more rigid. It's 300-foot lengths, no joints, no elbows, no mechanical connections. It goes from the mechanical room out 300 feet, makes its way through the room and then back to the mechanical room. We tie the radiant floor heat, the air barrier PEX, we tie it to that 6-inch grid. And it will go out in a straight line, go over 1 foot and come back in a straight line, and go over 1 foot and go out in a straight line and back and forth. The reason that we do that is someplace down the road you may decide that you want to change a wall. You know, that wall is there, but kids have left and I want to change this room, or I just want to make some kind of a change. But I can't change the wall if there's a possibility that I'm going to puncture my radiant floor heat tube, and you don't want to do that. And so what you'll be able to do, we're going to take hundreds of digital pictures of your layout of the radiant floor heat tubes before we ever pour the concrete. You'll be able then to look at this room. You'll be able to tell which it is from the picture. I'm looking at this room and I want to take this wall out. I want to move it over here. And it's going to be 3 feet closer or from the wall or whatever. I'm just using that as an example. You'll be able to get your pictures out and count 1 square, 2 squares, 3 squares, 4 squares, 5 squares, however many squares, times 6 inches, and you'll know exactly where that radiant floor tube is. So that if you want to make a change, and here's the tube, and I want to put my wall right here. Don't. Move your wall this way or this way. Okay, so it's going to allow you to do that. After we get all of the radiant floor tubing in, it's all the way back to the mechanical room so that we can do the next step. That is your finished concrete slab. We put a color in your concrete slab. It's sort of like going down to Sherwin-Williams and picking out a paint swatch or a paint chip. You pick out the color that you want your concrete slab to be. It will not ever come out to a solid color. We don't want that. We want it to have variations in the color that you see. And when the guys come in and they do the power troweling, the big gigantic, looks like a fan turned on the side, and they're making it really, really smooth and really, really, really hard. That puts swirl marks in your concrete. Okay. Once we do it and once it dries, it just looks like ugly concrete with a little bit of color in it. But after it's cleaned, right before you're moving in, after it's cleaned, you're going to seal it with a concrete sealer. And I'm telling you, the floor just explodes with color and different swirl marks. It looks more like marble than concrete. It's really, really pretty. It becomes your finished floor and saves a lot of money when you're talking about doing away with piers and pier pads and girders and joists and all the other things that go into a concrete floor. And then on top of that, putting on wood or tile or carpet, and the floor is really, really pretty. Again, it looks like marble. It's a gorgeous floor. It is your heater for your house. Once all of that's installed, it is really, really comfortable, and you will love living on a finished concrete floor.